Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a while since we've talked about some bad daycares and bad daycare workers. I don't believe that this was a bad daycare in this particular story. I think what it is, and I want you guys to understand that daycares have, like legitimate daycares, and let's not talk about somebody that you're just dropping your kid off and they tell you to throw them a little change on the side, do them a little benefit, put a little money in their pocket for you to watch their kid. No, talking about legitimately paying taxes, taxpayers, tax ID, doing the right thing, getting background checks. Background checks are not the end all be all to vetting somebody. You can't look at somebody and tell what they're going to do and how they're going to behave around small children. You just have to hope and pray that you've made the right choice. In this story, they've made it through all the background checks, all of the training, all of this stuff, and still decided to harm children. So let's talk about this. I want you guys to understand that there's some details in this story, especially the details about what happened to the baby. Some of these videos, they were shown on the news, so I think they're going to be appropriate for YouTube. I'm hoping that should not be a problem. I hope not to get flagged. But there are going to be some disturbing images and some disturbing details. If you're not ready to hear that type of content, this is your disclaimer. It's time to exit the video. Everybody understand? Let's get it. An employee at a Florida daycare center for children was arrested after police say that she was caught on surveillance camera. She was caught on camera footage picking up a 1-year-old child and dropping him on the floor, which caused this baby to break its leg. Y'all hear me? Picked him up and dropped him, broke his leg. She later hit the same child in the head. Deputies with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday arrested 51-year-old Tampa resident Yamerka Menendez. Where have we heard that word? Is it the Menendez brothers? Is that what it is? Is that where I've heard that last name before? Is she related to them? Her abusive ass, 51, could have fooled me. I would have at least said 70. I would have at least said 70 in the face. But what do I know? Yamerka Menendez charged on aggravated child abuse, causing great bodily harm, child abuse, and battery. According to a post on the sheriff's Facebook page, while working at the Time of Wonder Daycare Academy at approximately 8 a.m. on September the 8th, Menendez was filmed. Let me see. Yeah, it's Menendez. Isn't that right? Menendez, the Menendez brothers? She could very well be related to them. Menendez was filmed removing the toddler from a mechanical swing by his wrist, swinging the child about 3 feet in the air over a retaining wall, and then dropping the child to the floor. Due to the fall, the boy was unable to stand up upright or place weight on his left foot and leg, which the broken leg. Based on the video footage and Menendez's reaction when the child hits the floor, it appears that she intentionally dropped the child. Another employee standing about 4 feet away appears to witness the event, which is the lady on the right-hand side, who damn near kind of looked like she's smiling in that mugshot, but I don't know. The same child was again in the mechanical swing just after 12 p.m. while Menendez is seen on video striking the child in the head. It says Melendez. I don't know if that's a typo, but this website has put in a typo somewhere. I don't know if it's Menendez or Melendez, but now they're saying Melendez. But it says Menendez up here, so I don't know. But I'm going to call him Menendez. Seen on video striking the child in the head. An hour later, at approximately 1:08 p.m., video shows Menendez feeding a different child who was 4 months old. She is shown feeding the child who was sitting on her lap, where she forcefully grabbed and yanked the victim's right leg and slapped the child several times. times. The same employee who appeared to witness Menendez drop the first child is standing directly next to Menendez and appears to witness her hitting the infant. She was too close not to have seen it. The following day, September the 9th, the mother of the 1-year-old who was dropped by Menendez noticed that the child seemed to be experiencing pain in his left foot. She brought the toddler to St. Joseph's Hospital, where the medical staff diagnosed him with fractures to his tibia and fibula. That is a hard drop. But these are babies at a daycare. Of course, they're going to be fragile. But this is absolutely ridiculous. The child was examined on September 23rd by a medical team at the University of South Florida Child Protection Team, who determined that the injuries to the child's leg were likely the result of physical abuse. The medical team then sent a report to the sheriff's office. Time of Wonder provided detectives with their surveillance camera footage, rightfully so, which provided the basis for Menendez's arrest. The incident was also reported to the Hillsborough County Child's Licensing. The other daycare employee shown in the footage, who appeared to witness Menendez dropping the child and hitting the children, was identified as, let me see if I can get her old face up on the screen, this woman right here. That is 52-year-old Milagros Rodriguez. 52. She look about 52, maybe 62. Give her about 10 more years with them bags under her eyes. Rodriguez was also arrested on Tuesday and charged with 1 count of failure to report child abuse because you are a designated person. If you see a crime, you have to report it, especially when it comes to our babies. She knows that. Rodriguez was released Wednesday on a $2,000 surety bond. Menendez is being held at the Hillsborough County Jail, and her bond was set at $5,000. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that sounds right? I don't. I think that's bull crap to the fullest extent of the B and the S. What? 5,000, not 50,000, not 500,000. 10% bail bondsman get you out for $500 for beating on a baby, dropping a baby from a high distance, causing it to have multiple fractures. Should that not be attempted murder? It's a baby. Babies can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. And they're still developing. Any type of impact to a child could cause the child to die. How is that not attempted murder? How is that not something more harsh? $5,000? It don't seem like they got this right. I think they got that wrong. I think the courts got that wrong. They had to been able to implement something. $5,000. The court records do not show whether she retained legal representation. The sheriff's office noted that both Menendez and Rodriguez do not have prior criminal history. I don't give a shit. That's ridiculous. $5,000? Nah, man. Nah, that ain't right. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. If you guys are watching this, please click that thumbs up. If y'all understand where my heart and where my thoughts are, please click that thumbs up. For as many people who are watching, make sure y'all click that thumbs up. Let's try to get the number to that point. I'm just saying, when are we going to start to take child abuse seriously? It don't sound like this judge got this right. This sounds wrong. All you got to do is just take a stance. And sometimes you can do it monetarily. Let's get it. Oh. That baby went straight on his foot. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger. I know y'all are gonna have difficulty seeing this. I've already forewarned y'all what y'all are gonna see. Let's get it. Let me break out my trusty whiteboard real quick if you guys don't mind. I'm gonna show y'all where she is, and I'm gonna show y'all who's watching. Whiteboard time. Here we go. You make this nice and thick. This is Menendez. This looks like it's Rodriguez. And you're going to notice in a minute, this little baby right here, she's going to grab it by the arms, hold it up really high, and then bam, dump him on the ground. And you notice, like, he doesn't bounce. Like, he goes, like it's a solid impact. Like that's a break in the leg, a break in the foot. It's really hard to see because they have it blurred out. So this is appropriate because the news station showed it. So we can show it. Fair use. And also, we shouldn't get flagged for this. So I'm just letting YouTube know this should be fair enough for us to use and play. Here we go. There's the grab, drop. Grab, drop. That is a solid drop. Grab, drop. Boy. They can fake the funk all day long. That is an evil, evil woman. Look at her. That is a bully. That is a bully. The epitome of a bully. Beating up on somebody who can't do shit about it. That's ridiculous. I'm going to tell you guys something right after this video ends. This video proves that all of these women involved in this case are dumb. You want me to explain why? I want y'all to tell me that these broads didn't know that the video camera was watching them at all times. Tell me that they went to work and didn't know those cameras were there. They're just a special level of stupid, a special level of dumb. You did it on camera and didn't give a crap. They knew the cameras were there.
Two daycare workers are facing charges. One of them is accused of abusing two babies. Deputies say the abuse resulted in fractures in a baby's leg. The incidents were recorded on video at Time of Wonder Academy in Tampa. Fox 13's Aaron Mesmer is joining us now live at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Aaron, you spoke with the co-owner of this facility today. Tell us what she said.
Well, Kelly, just like many of us, she couldn't believe her eyes as she watched that video, and she is glad that the people involved were arrested swiftly. At 8 a.m. on September 8th, a security camera at Time of Wonder Daycare in Tampa recorded a worker lifting a 1-year-old out of a motorized swing by his wrists and placing him hard onto the floor. Investigators say doing so caused the child to fracture his tibia and fibula, 2 bones in his leg.
I can't believe somebody can do that one with a child.
Neither can Hillsborough deputies, but as surveillance video shows, it didn't stop there. At 11 a.m., detectives say Yamirka Menendez hit that same child in the head while he was in the electronic swing. Later that same day, Menendez is accused of slapping a 4-month-old and yanking that child's leg during feeding time. Bianca DeAndrea, the daycare's co-owner, was on the verge of tears as she discussed the video.
I spend more hours with these children than the parents. That video is a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
The sheriff's office was notified after the 1-year-old's mother took the child to the hospital because of the leg injuries. Menendez faces child abuse charges.
I understand that we are human, but I cannot understand that you are and behave like an animal.
Milagros Rodriguez is the woman who was in the daycare room with Menendez. She's charged with failure to report the abuse. DeAndrea is furious with the workers.
Of course I am. I feel embarrassed because it's like it happened in my house.
She says she still trusts the rest of her employees, and she hopes the parents of other children there do too.
You guys, parents, you are my eyes. Any little thing I have to know because we are here to protect children.
And DeAndrea says that both women passed strict background checks and had no prior arrests, and she says that she plans to rework these cameras, Kelly, to try to make them be able to try to allow parents to be able to access them remotely so that they can keep their eyes on their kids as well.
Well, we're thinking about.
That's really all you can do. I think the cameras served their purpose. They did their jobs. That was about as good as it gets. But I think the courts are probably going to end up giving these women a slap on the wrist, literally, for what they did to them kids. And I'm afraid to say this. I think that they probably not going to even see any real jail time. I say for something like this, 5 to 10 years. Why not? 5 to 10 years. What do y'all think? How much time? I don't think life in prison. No, I don't think nothing like that. But y'all give me a number. How many years should she do in prison? Everybody who's watching right now, give me the number. The woman who broke the kid's foot, slapped the kid in the face, yanking on the kids. How many years? How many years would you give her? Be the judge. Judge. The Bible says, judge lest thou be judged. Set the standard. What would y'all give her?
As you prepare to send your kids off to school, a 1-year-old boy is still recovering after deputies say a daycare worker seriously injured him. Deputies just charged that worker with child abuse. I want to warn you, you may find the following surveillance video disturbing. The sheriff's office says Yamirka Menendez dropped the toddler on the floor at the Time of Wonder Academy in Tampa earlier this month. She's also accused of hitting him in the head and leg. Deputies say the boy suffered fractures to his tibia and fibula. Detectives also charged one of Menendez's co-workers for failing to report child abuse.
Daycare workers are facing charges after deputies say a 1-year-old boy suffered serious injuries in their care. News Channel 8's Melissa Marino joins us now live from the sheriff's office with the details on this case. Melissa.
Well, hey,
if you ask me, I'd say 10 years. 10 to 15. You got to make an example out of people like this. I'm just saying, people who get caught with drugs, who maybe are using drugs, get larger sentences than people who actually hurt children. People who abuse drugs get longer sentences than people who hurt, murder, and abuse children. Isn't that something? We're getting that wrong.
And a disturbing story here. One of those workers is accused of causing those injuries. The other is accused of not reporting the incident, and deputies tell us all of this was caught on camera.
The video, tough to watch. According to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, the daycare worker can be seen on surveillance removing a 1-year-old child from a swing by his wrists and then dropping the child to the floor. Deputies say that same worker, 51-year-old Yamirka Menendez, can later be seen on video hitting the child several times. It happened at the Time of Wonder Academy earlier this month. The mother of the 1-year-old took the child to the hospital after noticing something was off. He was then diagnosed with a fracture to his tibia and fibula.
This is every parent's worst nightmare coming true.
Now Menendez is facing multiple charges, including aggravated child abuse. Another employee in the room at the time, 52-year-old Milagros Rodriguez, is charged with failure to report child abuse. The owner of the daycare in shock.
That video is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I can't believe somebody can do that one with a child.
She tells 8 on Your Side there are 16 cameras at the daycare meant to prevent something terrible like this from happening.
I feel embarrassed because it's like it happened in my house.
And that owner tells us both of those workers never had any incidents prior to this. They had clean background checks. All of their background checks, she said, were clean. And the sheriff says that neither of them had criminal records until this incident. Melissa Marino, 8 on Your Side.
If you ask me, I know you guys put in your number. I think life in prison is a bit too harsh. I'd say 10 years for what she did is about right. And especially if, and nowadays in America, if people are doing like 85% of their sentences, I think a person like her can learn a lesson from this. And maybe she had a snap judgment. I don't know if this is who she is or not. And you're saying like stop hiring people that are unstable. It's hard to know. It's hard to know, man. Like you think, look, I've actually had a couple of different jobs where I was the store manager and I thought I did a good job of picking the person that I wanted to work for me. But I found out that that I did better when the company chose my coworkers rather than when I chose my own coworkers and brought them in, and they turned out to be the worst workers I ever had working for me. You think you're making a good judgment call, judging people based on what you see, based on what you think, and it's hard to know. It's hard to know. But nonetheless, man, I thank you guys so much for listening to the story with an open mind and an open heart. And from my heart to yours, I love you guys. Thank y'all so much. I'm glad that the baby survived. The baby's going to be okay. But that's still a fracture, a break, a trauma. And I would be hard pressed to trust any daycare after this. But nonetheless, I hope that they never have another incident there. And I hope that this thing will, I hope this daycare will get better. And prayers up for that baby, okay? You have a great day. Have a great night. I'll see y'all on the next stream. All right. Peace.